Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Beyond the Arc Season 2. And for the first time ever, this is groundbreaking stuff. You actually are going to be able to see the people that are talking on the show. That's right, my name is Sam, and I'm joined once again in actual colour now, not just
in the flesh.
not just a speaking person. We've got Sully with me again. And you all thought that, these are going to be coming out about once a month again. But no, we're on it this year. We're on it this year.
No way, no chance. We're not letting that happen again.
No, it's not gonna happen again. We're gonna be a bit more at it now. The new season's going. Now that I have myself a guest, we're gonna be making it a little bit better. And the first step of that is we've got Facecams now.
Yeah.
Now the bad thing about that is that that's a pain in the backside for me to edit. So again, another thing that's going to be making this a little bit better. These are going to be coming out as close to being live as possible. I'm going to be doing practically no editing of this. So hopefully, unless something like major happens, we end up having to stop for about like 5 odd minutes. Yeah, that's going to be pretty much. It's going to be unedited. It's just going to be our opinions, our waffling, and it's hopefully just going to be a little bit more personable for you guys listening and watching at home. Obviously, those of you who are listening on podcast platforms won't be able to see us, but those of you who are listening on the official YouTube will be able to see us just waffle about basketball, which is what we're going to be doing over the next 7 odd months when the season's back, which it is now. Now, Sully, are you ready for today's episode?
Of course, man. I'm 100% ready. I've been enjoying the season so far. Obviously, when we made our last episode just before I started, I don't know about you, but I've been really enjoying it so far this year. A lot of shockers, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, me too. And to be fair, we were going to be trying to do these weekly. We missed the first few weeks of the season because of unavailabilities, but Wednesdays is when we're going to be recording, and hopefully after today's episode, this isn't live. Like I said, it's as uncut as it possibly can be, but hopefully once after this episode, the ongoing episodes will be live on the YouTube. So you guys that are listening can come along, just drop in for a little bit, maybe get involved in some of the conversation, get involved in
we'd love it.
What we're doing. Just give some general feedback as the show's going on, and just pretty much you guys can be involved in the podcast without actually being in the podcast.
Yeah, man, I'd love that, honestly. Like, actually, like, getting to interact with people as well, chiming in, I'd love it.
Yeah. So, again, these are going to be just general reviews of what all will have happened in the last week of the NBA. Obviously, the NBA started about 3 weeks ago-ish. Now, most teams have played about 7 games. Like I said, we couldn't just do for the first 2 weeks, unfortunately. But they should be weekly. We're just going to be doing weekly episodes, just reviewing everything that's happened in the NBA this week. And let's just say, these first few weeks of the NBA, they've been pretty interesting.
They've been crazy. They have been crazy. Like, some of the people, some of the teams, it's like so fun to watch right now because you genuinely, like, you don't know exactly what's going to happen. And the season only just started.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Looking back, I looked back at my predictions before we went live today, and genuinely, there are a lot of shockers. There are a few teams that I didn't back to do that well. There are a few teams that I thought would do really well, but there's been a lot of teams that you are expecting them to hit the ground running, but
from the jump.
These new rules have come in. They've absolutely mugged off all of the former amazing shooters.
James Harden.
you can't just be moaning and you'll get to the free throw line. No, it's not happening. So percentages are going down, and a lot of people are saying it's back like the 80s, back like the 90s. Not only is a little bit more physical, but the Knicks and the Bulls are doing well, and that's what we like to see.
It's just crazy that everyone's saying that it's back like the 80s and the 90s, and all of a sudden the Bulls and the Knicks are doing well again, just like they did back in day. It's crazy. Like, I mean, I don't know what is.
It is
It's,
crazy.
it's
And like the title of the video will suggest, the Bulls are on fire.
they are
And that is going
doing
to
it
be
up.
pretty much our main topic of
100%,
the podcast
100%.
today. Because genuinely, I didn't back them. Like I said, I was a bit pessimistic. I
But
did still put them
who
top
backed
four,
them though? Who backed
but
them?
this man backed them,
I
and
said, I said they're gonna.
I'll let you have your piece. You talk now.
I said I had the gut feeling. I saw the signings, and I thought these guys, this is the time. They're warming up. They just missed off playoffs last year, and I think with the way they've kicked off the season, like, come on, they just are gonna go for playoffs, of course, and they have to get it with the way they're playing right now. I know the season's only just started. I think 6 or 7 games they've played, and they're doing it, man. I'm not even a supporter like you, but I really like I said in the last episode, I really want them to do well, and they're doing really well right now, and I'm loving it.
Talk to me about Demar Derozan, man.
Oh,
Loads of people before the season saying that he wasn't the pick. He was a poor free agency signing. Nah,
he's
he's showing up. He
he's
is.
unreal. He's averaging 25 right now, and he's just every single game he's turning up. He's a lot better than I thought he was going to be. I'm not going to lie, considering he's been not the best for the best part of a while now, and he's just turned up to Chicago, and he's like a whole new guy. And it's not even just him; the whole team, the way they're just gelling together is unbelievable, and I'm just
Yeah,
loving it.
you're not wrong. Genuinely, like it's so fun just watching the highlights of a Chicago Bulls
Literally,
game because
literally.
you just know that Alonzo's going to come in or Caruso
Oh,
with just a steal and then our fast break, unbelievable.
that
And just
man right there, Mr. Lonzo Ball, how he has switched it up. Like,
yeah,
wow. Oh my days. I don't even know what to say because the thing is, right, you look at this team, there's not a lot of experience in there. Like, a majority of the guys are young guys
other
who
than DeRozan and
of
Vucevic, you
literally,
gotta say,
like,
yeah.
that is it. But these guys are playing like they've played playoffs before. I mean, Caruso has obviously won the championship with Lakers in the bubble, but other than that, like, these guys, they've not really got that playoff experience like that, and they're all playing as if, like, this is what they do on a regular season, like, every time, and it's just amazing. I This is what I mean. This season right now is shaping up to be a really good season.
Yeah. One of the main things as a Bulls fan to be looking at the side so far is that last season, compared to last season, where we were throwing away so many slim leads
Mm,
in the fourth quarter, we've finally got a few more closers other than Zach Levine. We've got a few people who can carry that ball in the stretch. Mainly Demar Derozan, as we've seen countless times already
and
this
you've got an
season.
amazing sixth man in Caruso as well. Like,
And here, that's going to be Kobe White in a few months.
oh, you reckon?
Yeah.
To
Well,
be
I
to
mean,
be honest, yeah,
Caruso's.
100% Kobe White. Like, once he comes back from injury, like, that guy will. I know he'll tear up because look at how the team's playing. He will only just add more quality.
Yeah, definitely. And the fact is, if the Bulls keep this up, I know they've not exactly played too many amazing teams. They have beaten the likes of Utah and Boston. Boston have had a good season. We'll
Yeah.
talk about them a little bit later. But yeah, they've lost to the Knicks, who you've got to say are probably in the East the only side that they've played that are on their level,
Well,
and
yeah,
they lost to them.
literally.
So obviously the Bulls tonight have a game against the Philadelphia 76ers as of when we're recording on the 3rd of November. It'd be a big game. Embiid loves a game against us. He really does.
Mm.
He'll be cooking.
And to be fair though, like, the Sixers have not been, like, they've been playing good, but Chicago, in my opinion, even though, like you said, they've not really played the big teams, they've been, for me, when I watch them, I feel like I'm watching a better team when I watch Chicago at the moment. And you never know, like, if Chicago get that win tonight, then it's a big statement.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
huge.
Yeah. Well, I'll be hoping that they do. They'll move to 7-1 if they win that game. But at the moment, they are tied at the top of the conference with the Miami Heat. And I'm gonna put this out there. You've said your piece about me ranking them as a big lower. Now it's my turn because Tyler Hero. I told you that he would be coming through. We were gonna see more bubble Tyler Hero.
Like I honestly, I there's only one. Like hats off, man. Literally, the guy, he is unbelievable at the moment. Averaging 22 right now. He's sixth man of like the last 2 weeks, but
Sixth man of the last 2 weeks. That's yes.
listen, that could turn into sixth man of the whole season if he keeps this up.
That's if they carry on playing him there.
I mean, I don't see why they should stop because if he's doing up as well as he is right now at that position, they should keep it going.
You've got to be looking at a potential most improved as well. You know, you look at
Oh,
his especially
1000%,
shooting
one thousand
numbers.
percent.
He's bumping up his shooting numbers by 7 already this season. Obviously, again,
Crazy.
we are still young in the season, but you got to be looking at someone like him.
And as well though, with the Heat, Bam is outrageous right now. Like that guy is crazy. Like I've almost, I didn't think he's gonna make the biggest impact considering I don't know if you watch the Olympics like that with USA, but
Not
he,
really, no.
yeah, obviously I caught a few games because like you saw the lineup for USA like in the Olympics, it was crazy. I thought, you know what, I have to catch a few of those, and Bam wasn't the best, so I thought, oh okay, he's him going to the Heat. It's not the biggest like transfer of them all, but he's doing crazy right now. I think he's averaging 20, and he's like a proper big man. Like it's what they needed, and they've got it.
Yeah, definitely. And to think, I don't even think they've hit their best at the moment. You know, Kyle Lowry, he's had a pretty poor start
Yeah,
to
hundred
his
percent.
Miami Heat career. You know, he went the first 6 games that they played without scoring 20 points. Obviously, he hit 22 against Dallas. Um,
Mm.
so maybe he's starting to get a bit of a roll going, and I think once he gets on,
Once he gets cooking, because obviously we all know like what his quality is. We know he's got it. We're just waiting because there's gonna be one game he's just gonna randomly drop 40 and then that's it. He'll be back. But with the quality of the team, even though he's not performing as well as he usually does, it doesn't even matter because of what they've got in the squad. Jimmy, I mean, come on, he just is JB doing what he's been doing for how many seasons now? I think he's
Jimmy G buckets, and the G stands for gets.
literally, and I think he's averaging 25 this season already. Like it's so even though Kyle Lowry is not at his best, it's not like the biggest problem in the world. But that just means that when he does get there, because he will, then it's dangerous.
Yeah, definitely. And he's not the only guard that has had a pretty tough time so far this season. And I think we are going to be mentioning quite a few of them.
Thousand percent.
From note, you have the likes of James Harden, who has not had the greatest season shooting. Obviously he's been
Not
making up for
even
that
a
with
little
his.
bit.
He's been making up for that a little bit with his playmaking, and what was it in the last game he got
He
like
did get.
19 free
I
throws.
think he got a triple double as well the other
And
day.
he started to get to the line a little bit more often now
Mm.
too.
But I mean, it's not the James Harden we know by any means,
No.
and it's quite. It's almost frustrating to watch because we know what he can do, and with the quality the Nets are supposed to have, the fact that they're not getting like the results that they should be is quite. It's just not what you want to see, especially when this season could be one of those highly competitive seasons, and the Nets are not really competing like that.
Although to be fair, you look at the games that they have lost. They've lost against Milwaukee. They've lost against the Hornets and they've lost against the Heat. Three teams who, they're doing quite well. Obviously,
Yeah,
on paper, you'd expect them to beat Charlotte and Miami, but Charlotte and Miami have had a really good season so far.
literally. But like we mentioned in the last episode, Kyrie not being a part of the team has clearly made some sort of an impact. And
Mm.
of course, then as well with James Harden not performing as well as he does, that whole, the Nets, are they going to pull it out of the bag this year because they couldn't do it last year and they got unlucky? It's looking like this year will not be the year of Kevin Durant. I mean, he's doing it up on his own,
Yeah.
but as a team, it just looks like they're slipping crazy. I mean, in the conference, they're nowhere near the top. They're eighth in the conference.
Mm.
They're below Charlotte, Toronto, Philadelphia, and even Washington. Like Washington, who don't have the best quality on paper. It's
Yeah.
it's quite crazy to see, to be honest.
Although I predicted that they'd do better than you. You had them in the
Yeah,
bin,
yeah,
but
I did.
I predicted that they'd do better than you. I didn't predict that they'd do this well though.
Yeah, I'll be so honest. I'll put my hands up and say they've proved me wrong so far. I did not think Washington would even get anywhere near the level they're at right now. And to say the start of the season, they didn't even start the season with Bradley Beal, but now that he's in the squad, they're just doing so much better.
Bradley's not even he's not shooting that well so far as well. He's shooting less than
I mean,
40% from the field.
he's for his standards nowhere near, but he's still
Yeah.
doing okay, averaging 24,
Yeah.
which is pretty good. It's quite good, but of course for Bradley's level, it's not the best. But it just means he's getting there. In my
Yeah.
opinion, I think so.
Yeah. The Washington Wizards, they do have somehow a lot of quality, just a lot of underrated players. They remind me of Denver a little bit.
Yeah,
A lot of underrated players that are coming together and doing well. One of which somehow is Kyle Kuzma, and I've no idea how that's managed to happen.
we was if I don't even know if you will remember how long we were slating Kyle Kuzma for in the last episode, and how much we was laughing at him and clowning that guy, and Twitter and Instagram, everyone was going crazy. And right now, that guy has shut everyone up. Because there wasn't a single person in my mind. There was not a single person that was saying, "Yeah, Kyle Kuzma's gonna do bits at Washington." No one was saying that. I don't even think he believed it. And it's this is what I will keep going back to this. But this season right now is unbelievable.
Yeah. And then you've got Montrezl Harrell. He's finally broken into the starting five for a team, and it's what you like to see,
Mm,
really, isn't it? And he's playing.
100%.
He's playing like someone who should have been starting at both LA clubs, really,
100%.
when you look at it.
But it just goes to show a lot of people aren't getting game time that they deserve, and how now that they do get it, look what happens.
Yeah.
It just goes
How,
to show.
how much of the Wizards' fast start to the season are you putting down to quite a few teams sleeping on them? Maybe.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, come on, no one expected Kyle Kuzma to pop off like that. So obviously he would have been in the eyes of the opposition a big threat. So it's like, for example, I know that they're nowhere near the same level, but when Ben Simmons gets the ball at the three position, everyone backs away. That's kind of what they did with Kyle Kuzma, in the sense that whenever Kyle Kuzma got the ball, they didn't see him as a threat, so they didn't attack him as much, and he made them pay. He did the damage whenever he had the ball, and he's kind of showing, most importantly, LA fans, that this is who I am. This is what happens, and it's good to see, to be honest, because as much as we clowned him, I'm glad that he's doing well, because it shows that he had the quality the whole time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I still think, maybe when you look at it, do you think that the Lakers will have, by the end of the season, do you think the Lakers will have won the Westbrook trade?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So
Because
you think
he is
you think
still Russell
Westbrook's gonna
Westbrook,
end up
man. He's still
right?
Russell Westbrook. Even though he might be shooting bricks sometimes, he still missed the triple double. and he will do what he does best. At the end of the day, every season is the same with Russ. At the beginning, people clown him and it's like, no, he's Russell Westbrook. He's not that good. And then to the end of the season, they're like, yeah, Russell Westbrook, Hall of Famer in the future. This is where it is. And it'll happen again. Like, I'm a big fan of Russ. I always have been. And he is the triple-double king. And he's already starting to show it.
Yeah.
Even though, like Laker, when they started off, it wasn't the best start to a season. They picked it up. And he will. They will, of course, they'll win that trade, man. He's Russ.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Now, again, moving on to another team that just in my mind have surprised. Not surprised in your opinion, given that how you ranked them at the start of the season. And that is the Charlotte Hornets. Yeah, they're at the moment 7th, but they are half a game back off of 4th, which is where you put them. So,
Mellow ball. I said
Le flop ball.
LeFlop. Listen, he had like 1-2 stinky performances, but he is still the guy. And what I'm really excited to see is him against Steph. That Hornets against Warriors game. Oh, I'm excited.
We'll talk about that.
We will. But I'm gassed for that one.
Yeah. And again, he's not doing it by himself. Miles Bridges is having potentially a most improved season year.
Oh, 100%. The way them two are linking up at the moment is unbelievable. Like the reason why Melo is doing really well is because of Miles Bridges. Like there's no doubt about that. Melo would not be doing what he is doing this season right now if it wasn't for him.
It's the fact that he's gone from last season where he was pretty much kind of just a bench player, alongside LaMelo, and he was kind of the guy who would always catch LaMelo's alley oops, and he'd always get on the highlight reel. But now he's putting in the work. He's getting the points.
100%.
He's improving in every single facet of the game.
Yeah, and it's good to see. Like I say, I always love watching these players like prove people wrong, especially like their own teammates, their own coach, and showing the quality they've got. And he's done exactly that so far this season. And it's sick to see, because if Melo wins that MVP, then he's got Miles Bridges, most improved, to thank.
Melo's not winning the MVP.
He's not. Steph Curry's winning the MVP.
Oh.
I said it last episode. I'll say it again. Steph Curry, he's. I love him.
Fair. I'm not going to disagree with that.
Don't worry, we'll get to him.
I'm going to say, do you think that the Hornets are still going to get top 4 in the conference?
Maybe. I hope so. I think they could. I mean, this season so far, it's if we just look at how it's shaping up right now, the Nets are 8th. We didn't think that would happen. Milwaukee at 10th. We didn't think that would happen.
Had a stinker so far, and it's weird.
Boston at 12th.
Yeah, Boston have had a good one.
Boston are in the bottom 4. And then
the only team there that are playing to their actual abilities is Detroit.
It's the bottom 3, really. It's the bottom 3.
Cleveland are doing all right too,
They're out of the bottom 3, which is better than we thought they would do.
Hey, if someone told me 8 games into the season that Cleveland and Milwaukee would have had the same record, I'd have told you were silly.
But then on the flip side, we've got Washington at 4th, we've got New York at 3rd, Chicago and Miami top 2. That conference itself is nowhere near the levels we thought it would be, considering obviously we had Milwaukee at the top, Nets second, and I think they could go 4th. You never know, because I don't think Washington will be able to keep it up. But I think,
do you think that the big teams are going to turn this round? They should, shouldn't they?
Well, Milwaukee most definitely, more than anyone. They should turn it around with the quality, and of course they are the current champions. They're the champions for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like I mean, if the season ended, in a month and Milwaukee was still 10th, then I'd say like, yo, what has happened? But of course, I believe that they'll turn it around. I don't think they'll finish the conference top, maybe even top 2, but of course they'll turn it around, and Like the teams that are doing well at the moment, Washington, maybe New York. Not 100% sure though. They will like start dropping off.
Yeah, definitely. And you've got the big teams in the West. Obviously, it's kind of shaped out how it probably should be at the moment. But hey, if we'd have done this last week or at some point near the start of the season, we'd be looking at the Lakers and we'd be saying, "What is going on there?"
I mean, considering the way we gassed them up, it's crazy. But they picked it up.
Yeah, they've won 3 in a row after going 2-3 to start the season, which is pretty poor. And they blew like a 20-odd point lead against the Thunder, which is never ideal.
But
And I remember messaging you after that game. That was the one where Carmelo hit an open air ball.
that I can't lie, that was funny. I watching that replay as well. That was hilarious. But Carmelo has turned it around though.
Yeah,
Coming off the
yeah.
bench, he's dropping almost 20 every game. It's
Well, you must say he scored the most threes in the first 8 games in the Lakers team.
which is crazy
Yeah, I
considering.
mean it's pretty easy to do when you got Russell Westbrook running your point, but hey, like he's doing bits off the bench. You can't deny that.
100%. And I mean, obviously, logo LeBron. I don't know if you saw that, but that was crazy. I feel like he's starting to pick up again. Obviously, the start of the
Yeah,
season for King James, I don't know what was going on, but
no,
it's LeBron. That's always temporary.
yeah. And hey, you can say the same about Russ. His form is
Hmm.
most definitely temporary because he's very much just he's one of those players where you sleep on him and he'll drop 30-point triple double on you.
And then you gas him up, and
Yeah,
he gets like 15 turnovers.
yeah, genuinely. Like he got a quadruple double earlier
Yeah,
this
that was
season.
so jokes. But the thing is, fair enough, 10 turnovers in a game is horrific. But people still forget the fact that he actually did get a triple double. Like,
Yeah,
he's,
but
but that 10 turnovers, come on, man. Russ, what are you doing?
yeah.
That,
Eight point
that's,
eight, 8.8 rebounds a game, 8.5 assists per game. Do you think he's going to be able to keep this going? Maybe even bump out to a triple double average this season?
I hope so, but I'm not sure. Of course, LeBron's there as well, and he always likes a triple double. Like,
Yeah,
you know, I don't know. I don't think he'll be able to average a triple double this year. If he does, then like fair enough. At the end of the day, he is that guy, so you wouldn't be surprised. But
yeah,
I don't think he'll be able to this year. Not with that team.
yeah. Fair. I completely agree. But one person who is going to absolutely kill the season is Steph Curry.
He's the man. I said it in the last episode. He is getting MVP. Obviously, I said the Lamelo thing as a joke, but I said Steph is getting MVP, and he just is, though, isn't he? Like, what?
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it.
He's just too. He's just too good, man. He is the best basketball player in the world. He's averaging 28.7 right now.
Yeah,
28.7, and he's just. I just don't know what to say. Like, when he gets the ball and he hits like a crazy three, like the other day, one-legged 3-pointer.
yeah.
Who in their right
Uh,
mind actually does that? Like, I just don't understand who gave him the confidence to be this good, and he just gets better every single time. Age is not a thing in Steph Curry's like ability to play the game. It just does not exist. And Clay's not even back yet. Clay Thompson is not even in the squad yet. I just that I don't know what to say except from that guy. If he does not win the MVP, I will personally write a formal letter to whoever made that decision because it's not happening in my books. He is winning
all
the
right.
MVP.
Well, Adam Silver.
Adam
If
Silver,
you
mate.
if you don't make Curry the MVP, you're gonna be getting a letter from Sully about
I'll pull up to his house. You
it.
know, I mean, he's made Giannis MVP like 16 times now. Like, come on, man. We need Steph. We need Steph to get that MVP again because he deserves it. He's been putting up them numbers for years now,
Yeah,
and he was injured and he just came back better
yeah,
last year, and he's even better. And when Klay Thompson comes back, the Warriors are gonna just they're gonna rip up the league.
yeah. He's definitely carrying the team so
Oh
far,
yeah, 100%,
and
100%.
somebody else who's carrying their team is Paul George,
Oh
and
my god,
it's going under the radar,
oh,
and it's annoying
100%. He's
because the rest of his team
averaging
is so pony.
he's averaging the second most points per game in the season right now. He's the only person ahead of him is Steph, and this is
But genuinely, look at his team; it's unbelievable. Like when Kawhi comes back, I literally don't think. Well, obviously, they'll beat the worst teams, but they really don't have enough other than them two to
yeah, that's it.
really
And
challenge.
truthfully, like them two both at the end of the year will be out of that squad, or the squad will bring in more quality to keep them two because Paul George right now is absolutely insane. He reminds me of pre Clippers Paul George when he was like just insane, and
Look, I've said
he did.
once he's so good at being the main option. Genuinely, wouldn't be surprised if he's MVP if he's in MVP voting this year.
He's in
And
the conversation, in my opinion. He's in the conversation, but he won't get the recognition simply because his team are not getting the results.
no, his team are awful. Like when you're looking at his at the box score for games, and he's the only person that's putting up.
Putting
He's
up the
putting up
numbers.
40. He's putting up like 40, and the rest of his team ain't putting up double digits in points. It's like how do you even do that? That's
But you must feel a certain frustration if you're Paul George because as much as people have hated on him in the past, right now he's proving everyone wrong. But he's
yeah,
not getting any results, so people do
no,
not care. They simply
yeah,
don't care,
no
and
recognition for him.
that he must that must anger you surely if you're Paul George. Like you'd be trying to step to your teammates, but I don't know what they're not doing anything to help him at the moment. Like he's carrying differently, and I feel sorry for the guy because
Yeah,
I slept him in at the start of the season. You gassed him up, and obviously he's proved me wrong. He's proved you right,
yeah,
but is I don't know what his team needs to do because whatever it is right now, whatever they're doing in training, whatever he's telling them, it's clearly not going through because
no,
he needs is that little to push the team a little bit, just a tiny bit more, and they'll get results because he's doing everything for them. He's
yeah,
doing like 95% of the work. All
yeah,
they need to
definitely.
do is finish that 5%, and they're getting points, they're getting results.
Yeah, I mean you're not wrong, and I think his carrying of the team. It's kind of replaced how Damian Lillard carries the Portland Trailblazers.
Mm.
Like, because you're moving on to him, it's not been Dame time at all this season.
Not even the clock is broken. I don't know where he's been at. But did you see his tweet the other day though? He said, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he basically said that 6 games doesn't define like this many years or whatever. So he's basically trying to hit back at people saying, "Yeah, I know I've been stinky, but remember who I
Yeah.
am," which is fair.
Well, did you
But
see? I know I sent you it,
mm,
but what are your opinions on his new song that he released, where he
oh,
where he blatantly said in there that he don't want to move to a super team, and he wants to win a ring like Giannis or Dirk.
I mean, he's. I'll
Do
first of
you
all,
think that's a bad idea?
Of course, it's a bad idea. We said it in the last episode. It's a really horrific idea. It's never gonna happen, bro. He's doing AI. He is the next AI because he has the talent to win the chip, and he should win the chip, but he's not going to. In terms of his spitting game, I can't lie. He's an amazing rapper. But if you're gonna rap that good and play in the Portland Trail Blazers, just give up your rap career and your basketball career because you're never gonna get anywhere with either. Just please. I feel so sorry for the guy because I love Damian Lillard. He's so good. Why are you
Yeah.
at this dead team? They're so dry. All the good players they had that when they could have won the chip, they're all gone except from him. Like, why? He's never gonna win a chip like Giannis or Dirk. First of all, because does your team have that quality? No, and don't compare yourself to Dirk either. That's just disrespect. Don't do that again. Don't ever do that. Dirk, no, no.
He's just calling out Damian Lillard on the podcast. Like,
Chat to me, Dave. No, I mean, come on, man. Dirk is just like even when people were saying like, "Oh, Luke Doncic is the next Dirk," don't say that. Don't do that again because no, people seem to forget who Dirk Nowitzki was. People really
yeah,
forgot, and that's just wrong. But yeah, to conclude the Damian Lillard part of this podcast, he is not winning a chip. anytime soon. Never.
What have you talked about Luka Doncic? How
Mm.
how are you feeling about Luka's season so far? Like I said that I thought he was going to win MVP this year if it
You
wasn't for
did.
if it wasn't going to be Giannis.
Mm.
He's okay. He's been okay.
Which translates to really is not been all
No,
that. To say that, obviously, you thought he was going to be MVP. I thought he was going to do well as well. He's really just not been.
like
He's just been
he's
out
still averaging 24 points,
24, yeah. But
seven rebounds, 7 assists. But we know he knows.
he knows
Everyone
that
knows
that's not good enough
he
for
can
him,
bump up. Yeah,
especially if he wants to keep up and try and be that guy that people are saying he's going to be, and be the next Dirk.
yeah.
Then
But
he
even
needs.
then, Dallas still, they're not playing bad.
Yeah, of course not.
I don't think. Yeah,
I mean,
they've kind of they've always been a decent regular season team.
like at the end of the day, he's not playing bad. He's just not playing Luka Doncic level.
Yeah, and Kristaps Porzingis, get out of that team. Do you see the turnaround that he did that just hit the backboard and like?
I was, I can't lie, that was jokes. I saw that on Instagram and I mean, I understand why he didn't get no game time in the last game. I don't know if it was because of injury, but I feel like it wasn't. Um, I mean,
Nah, it has to be because of injury.
listen, that might be a cover up. Oh yeah, he's injured. No, he's not injured. He's just he probably got beat up in training. Is like, yo, what are
By
you
Luca.
doing? Luca definitely folded him in half, and I mean, what some people this season right now are really showing their ability to not play basketball,
Yeah,
and he's at the tip top.
yeah. And I think this is the final team that I want to talk about. I'm not sure about you, but the Minnesota Timberwolves is someone is a team that I want to mention
Okay.
because genuinely they haven't like obviously they beat Milwaukee, but other than that they haven't
Mm.
really played anyone else that's on their level. They are at the moment level with their wins and losses. Anthony Edwards is coming out and doing bits. My rookie of the year last year. Him and Lamelo, like Lamelo's having a really good season, but them
Mm.
two, like, they're probably it's a very good comparison. You know,
Yeah,
usually
100%,
like
100%.
most draft classes do have two big players that you put against each other. You know, you had Zion and Ja
Yeah,
in the season before.
and I mean,
Zion's not turning up yet though.
Oh man, Zion. I don't even want to like that guy. Is flop of the season, like he said he would be. Like, and I don't even want to like before I even talk about him. First of all, let me talk about Timberwolves because I actually think Anthony Edwards is doing more for that team than anyone else. Better than Cat.
Damn. Okay.
Better than Cat. Obviously, D'Angelo. He's not really like turned up like he does. Obviously, he's not really been the same. To be fair,
He's
obviously,
third option, really. You
yeah,
know, it's going to be hard for him to get points.
yeah. But to be honest, I see why he's not like first option, second option because he's been on the decline ever since. Well, he left LA
Right.
really all that time ago. He's been on the decline,
Yeah.
and although if he unlocked like the true D'Angelo Russell that we all know he can do, then yeah, that team will do a lot better than they are right now. They're doing
Mm.
okay, like you said, but 3 wins and 3 losses ain't the best record. Seventh is not the best. They could easily, if those three, because Anthony Edwards and Kat right now are doing amazing. If D'Angelo somehow like starts to pick it up, maybe gets to that second option, gets to the first option, they could do a lot better in the Western Conference because they're doing a lot better than I actually thought they were gonna
Yeah,
do.
me too. And look, they've got a back to back against the Clippers. You
Mm.
know, who haven't been
And yeah,
playing that well. So
well, they got a
win
back to
them.
back against Paul George. That's what they've got, and I think they're probably gonna win both games.
Yeah,
To be honest,
definitely.
yeah, but
So, and I think right. So finally, I said that was it, but I think you want to talk about Zion a little bit. The Pelicans are bottom of the conference.
I mean, I did not expect that. I mean, when we talked about them, we actually thought they'd be okay. Like, we didn't expect them to be amazing, but damn,
Obviously, Zion hasn't played yet.
I
There is no timetable on his return. I don't think his head's in it anymore.
yeah. I mean, as a like, this is the third season now. If when he comes back, if he even decides, oh yeah, my NBA career is still there, you should have that hunger to want to come back. And it just seems like he's just nowhere to be seen. He's not even trying. I don't know like where he's at right now. I think just the money, the fame must have people have been saying it's gotten to him. Never know, might have, but Zion needs to come through if he wants his team to do well, because right now they are in the mud like unbelievably.
Yeah, definitely. So that's pretty much just us randomly just waffling on about
Just
how we
before you
think
end it
certain
though, do you
things
think
are
that the Pelicans decline is because Alonzo Ball leaving?
going. uh, mm,
Because
not
he
not
wasn't
really.
he wasn't
I,
all
I
that for
still I still think they'd have been
he
pretty
wasn't all
close.
that for
Even
them,
though,
but right now this year, obviously with Chicago, he's doing bits. So do you think that if he
yeah,
stayed, they'd be in the mud right now?
yeah, I think so.
You think?
He doesn't try on a Pelican on that Pelican side.
To be fair, there's I see why. If I was playing basketball for the Pelicans, I would not try either.
Yeah, no, me too. So that kind of just rounds up our talking about what's happened. Obviously, it'll just be over the last week, but it's since the start of the season at the
Mm.
moment. Like I said, we're going to be doing weekly episodes, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Um, but we are looking to be putting in some certain segments throughout our.
I don't know that one.
There you go.
Cheers, Alexa.
You got two guests on this episode.
Two guests. Big up, big up. Big up Alexa. Anyway, we are looking to be putting in certain segments of our shows. If you've got any ideas, please let us know. But one thing that we are going to be doing before we go in, we are going to be checking out 6 games. It could be could be more, could be less, but at this point, 6 games that we think are the key games to look out for over the next week, and we will be predicting them and reviewing them in our next show. We're gonna see who got the most right. We are running out of time, so we are just gonna be saying who we think is gonna win the games. Maybe say who we think is gonna get the player of the game. So the first game is the Knicks against the Bucks. Obviously, the Knicks have had a pretty decent season so far. The Bucks haven't.
I'm calling it. Knicks are winning the game. Julius Randle's gonna put in a shift, potential triple double. I think it's gonna happen. He's gonna put a statement out there saying that he's the guy, and because this year he's been on fire, and I think that's that game.
I'm gonna go with the opposite. Just
Okay.
for a little bit of fun. And I'm gonna say that the Bucks are gonna win, and obviously in every classic Bucks game, if they win, Giannis is probably gonna win the player of the game
Yeah,
as a result of
100%.
it. So I'm gonna go with the Bucks on that one.
That's
Next up is the Hornets versus the Golden State Warriors. You know, we mentioned it earlier, the
I
battle
am.
of LaMelo
That
versus
game
Steph.
is gonna be just who can shoot the most threes, because that's all it's gonna be. It's just gonna be a long range game, and I'm
Yeah,
excited. But I do think Golden State will pull away, and I think usually it is Steph, but I think the defense will win them the game, and I think if that's the case, oh, this is tough. I'm not gonna
you're
lie.
looking at a Draymond or
I'm I'm thinking, but yeah, potentially Draymond.
right.
I think he might.
Again, I'm gonna disagree with you on that one, and I think that the Hornets, as much as I don't want it to happen, I'm a Chicago
You
fan.
think the Hornets are gonna win?
I think the Hornets might end up winning, and I don't think Draymond Green's gonna have a great game. I think Miles Bridges is gonna cook him.
You think that's what the
Yeah,
thing is? That's what I mean. I think Draymond's gonna be like a main factor to why they win. I think the defense is gonna be a strong factor for that
Yeah.
that Warriors win. But obviously, I think Steph's going to drop like 35 easy.
Fair enough. Now, next up, Milwaukee again, and it won't be the last time we'll be talking about Milwaukee. They're playing the Wizards. Again, another team that have started out really well, that people, really probably weren't expecting to against a team that, as the NBA champions, you probably shouldn't be 4-4 after 8 games.
100%.
How
But
we,
yeah,
what we
no,
think
I think that's going to be a Milwaukee masterclass.
Me too.
Yeah,
Giannis is the player.
Yeah, Giannis is going to have a game.
Okay, so we both guessed the same on that one.
Mm.
Pretty boring, but
I know what the
let's
hell,
move on.
man.
Atlanta versus Golden State.
I know
Again,
what you're going to say. I
another
know what you're going to say
battle.
already. I
another
know.
battle.
I already know what you're going to say. You think Atlanta is going to win, and I know you do. It's okay.
I genuinely, I didn't back him against the Hornets, but Atlanta haven't had a great start to the season. Trey's had. I mean,
Yeah.
Trey's never been the most reliable in big games when it comes to shooting,
true.
in my opinion.
When he's owning New York, but
yeah, except for then. But yeah, I think it's going to be a Golden State win, and I think
same.
Steph is going to show up against
45.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
if we're talking about points, I'll say 34.
Yeah.
Yeah.
45, mate. He's doing 45.
Fair. Brooklyn versus Chicago. Like I said, Chicago have a pretty tough schedule coming up. They've got Philly twice, and Brooklyn in the next week.
Nah, Chicago swiping Brooklyn like I don't even care.
Damn, you really think?
KD will try all he like as much as he can. He'll probably get the points and the assists and all of that, like what KD does. But I think right now Chicago are just too hot, and they just I can't wait for that one.
No, me neither. Like genuinely, it's gonna be such a good game in my opinion, and
I think it'll be tight though.
Yeah, me
too. I know I said they're gonna swipe him, but I actually think it'll be tight.
I'm gonna back the Bulls too.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna say he hasn't had the best season so far, but I think that game will be the game that Nikola Vucevic pulls through. Yeah,
I think that'll be a Zach LaVine game.
Right, nice one. And then finally to round it off, Milwaukee again against the Philadelphia 76ers, two powerhouses. Usually the two best regular season teams in the East.
But then that game, Giannis always takes it almost every time.
Yeah, I think Giannis will take it too. Mainly because Philly, at the moment they're without Tobias Harris. I don't know if he'll be back for the game, but at the moment they don't have him. I genuinely think at the moment it's going to be a Bucks win and a Giannis.
Plus, Giannis needs to put his name on it again, and I think during the next week or so he will just say, "Yo, remember who the MVP is," and I think that'll be like the final, like, "Yo, 76ers, that's mine." He takes them. Embiid will go crying again, and
but yeah, generally, that concludes our predictions for big games over the next week. If you've got any other suggestions for segments that we're going to be putting in, we're going to be doing a power rankings week by week, like the NBA does. But obviously, first episode, we're a little bit behind. We'll be kind of just reviewing every single team.
Yeah,
well, most teams so far this season. So if you've got any other suggestions for segments that we can put in, we want to get you guys involved as much as possible, like I said, with the live aspect. So, if you guys want to pop in Wednesday evenings for, we'll be live for about 45 minutes to an hour, like tonight. And
keep up with the socials as well, because we'll update you.
Yeah, talking about basketball. Obviously, keep looking on the Instagram. It's in the description of the video, and pretty much make sure you're liking and subscribing to the YouTube channel, and make sure that you're following and sharing out on any other podcast platform. But yeah, hopefully this will kick off a weekly theme of episodes for us, and yeah, just a little bit more, like I said last episode, just a bit more of a chilled, laid back, kind of just relaxed, talking about basketball kind of thing. no proper set structure.
Mm.
Obviously, we want the segments, but no proper set structure. Just talking about what's happening in the last week in basketball. So, thank you, Sully, for being with me once again.
Of
And
course,
thank
man. Anytime. This is the place to be. This is the show. Everyone, show your love, please, man. Please.
Yeah. And yeah, we will be seeing you guys next week. We will review our 6 games. Well, we might make ourselves like a little mini league of
Ah,
it,
I'd love it.
and we'll just keep adding to it. But anyway, thank you once again, Sully, for being with me,
Of course, man. Of
and
course.
we'll see you guys next week. Peace.